This is how positions are completed. I mean, this is how we get out of trading a position that we've been in now for about 2 weeks. I am in the April and May positions, and what we have here is a profit and loss graph. The green line is the expiration. The white line is our current position. And as you can see, we're very, very profitable at this point. If you come down and take a look at the profit and loss, we're up for $414 on this position, which has only been open now for a couple of weeks in our test account. This is not my total position. This is a test account that we run. Just for these types of videos, because what we want to do here is show you how it's possible to make monthly income and build wealth at the same time on very small positions. As you take a look down here, you can see we only have one contract on some of these positions. Now, this is not our total position. Our total position actually included the diamonds, the ETF SPY, which we currently still have on. We have a few more positions on those. We have about 5 contracts on those, which we're going to be closing out today. We had IWM in there, so we had a portfolio of positions, and we've over the last few days. Let's see how much time we have left on these SPYs for the April. We only have 7 days left, and generally what we like to do is about 10 days out, start to pare down our profitable positions, because we don't want the risk of them turning into unprofitable positions as we go along. So right now, with 7 days left, we want to really get out, start to pare down these positions, because when you look at it, now I'm going to keep my cursor right there, but I want you to take a look down in the left-hand corner of this chart, which is right down in here. And I want to show you that we are up $411 on our total position. We are in a total position here. This includes the EEMs and the SPY position that we have remaining open. And we're up $410. Now, our maximum profit target is $716. So if we held this all the way to expiration without price moving either way, and it just kind of hung in there at the same level for the next 7 days, then we would, generate the maximum amount of profits of $728, $30 or so. But when we have 50% more of our profits, we'd like to actually start taking our profits at 20% of our max. So, that's what we've been doing. I took the diamonds off. I took our IWM positions off. Now we're getting down to the point where there's not much profit potential left in our SPY position. So I'm going to take those off, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Our position is up here. We've got what's called an iron condor, and if you go through some of our basic videos on different positions that we have, then you'll see exactly how to create these type of positions. But there's only 9 cents left. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Get out of there. There's only 9 cents left in this 140 call of April that we've got, and there's only 3 cents left in the April 42. So there's not much. There's not much profit potential left in these positions. We've got maybe 5 cents left to get out of this. Now, on our put side, we've got 16 cents on the 127s, because we'd be buying those back at 18 cents, and we'd be selling the 126 or the 125s at 7 cents. So we've got about 11 cents in there. We could hold on to those for, let's see, that's 11 cents, and that's 5 cents. That's about 16 cents. We could end up taking, a little bit more profit out of there, but boy, I'll tell you, let me take a look at this analyze graph. Again, I'll go down to a single symbol, and I'll take a look at our SPY position. We are dead center on profit, and if we hold our mouse right over that position, you can see that we are up $283 on that position with a max of $375. And frankly, the $70 or so that, or $90 or so that we have left in this position to take is not worth the risk that it goes into an unprofitable position if it goes either direction, especially with only 7 days left in the trade. So we're going to go ahead and take those off, and that's how you start to pare down the positions that you have. You want to take a look at your individual positions as well as your portfolio, all in general. And then around 10 days to expiration, you want to start to pare down these. But I just want to show you the profit potential. You want to get really good at managing your positions on a portfolio beta-weighted basis over time. And when you can successfully trade 1 or 2 or 3 contracts, then you can begin to move up your number of contracts until you get into a position where you are extremely profitable. But just to show you what the profit potential is, on 1 or 2 contracts, we have if you take a look down here, we have open, this is our current open profit and loss. We took actually over $1,100 out of profit on a $1,600 margin. We've only got $1,000 of margin up right now. We're making $407. That's a 40% return on investment on margin, return on margin in just the last 2 weeks. If we added, that's just one contract. If we did 10 contracts, now you're talking about $4,000 in profits in 2 weeks on $10,000 in margin money. If you added, let's say you went to 50 contracts, now you're talking about $20,000 in profit potential in 2 weeks. But believe me, you do not want to trade 20 contracts yet. You want to get very, very good at managing your positions using 1 or 2 contracts, 3 contracts at the most for a period of not less than 6 months, so that you are trading with confidence. You know when you put on a position exactly what's going to happen day by day. If you need to adjust, you know exactly what to do. There won't be any surprises. So, you want to be totally rational, you want to be calm, you want to be able to look at your positions and manage the numbers by portfolio. You don't want to manage your numbers in a scared state that the market is moving tremendously against you in some way and you don't know what to do. You get frozen and you lose money, and that's not what we're about. We're about trading with confidence. So, as you can see in this position, it pretty much, we could probably stay a little bit longer into this position, maybe a day or 2 at the most. That's all, though. We really want to get out before expiration here. But you can see our profit margin is quite huge. We can go from 127 on the SPYs all the way up to 140 and not really get hurt too bad. Right around 139 we start losing money, and right around 128 we start losing money. We're right in the sweet spot, very close to the sweet spot right now. We're just about maybe 50 cents off the sweet spot. But we're in a really good position. We're at almost 90% of our profitability for this position. So we're going to go ahead and take profits today on this. And we've done the same thing with the diamonds in the IWM position that we had built when we built our portfolio in the beginning. Now, this is how we're paring down our positions. So we're going to start entering orders to get out of our positions. A lot of people ask me, well, do you leg out of positions? Do you take one side off and then take the other side off? No, because as I've told a lot of students, we're not very good at predicting the future. Tell me, can anyone predict the future? No. All we can do is manage the problems, the challenges that come to us in the future. We can manage those. but we can't predict the future. And I mean, I know there's a lot of guys out there who are extremely good in technical analysis, and it does help to have a little bit of technical analysis. And if you see our videos on technical analysis and kind of predicting trends and so forth, and we look at channels, I think channels are probably the most useful technical analysis tool out there. We go over the kind of things that you can use, like the VIX or something else that you can use to kind of predict where prices might be going. But you're only dealing in terms of probabilities. You could say, well, there's a 70-80% chance that the market's going to be moving up after today. There's a 60, maybe 70% chance it's moving down from today. Technical analysis can help you do that. To say with absolute certainty, 100% certainty that the market's going to be moving up from now on, really is you're fooling yourself if you do say that. Because I've never ever I mean, I've looked at positions. I said, hey, this stock has got to go up. I purchased calls on them. I used to purchase when I wasn't doing my trading correctly and I wasn't trading with confidence. I would purchase calls, I would purchase the stock, and I said, this thing's got to go up. Look at I did all this technical analysis and I thought for sure it was going up, and it didn't do anything, or it went down, about 70 or 80% of the time. So my accuracy was only 30%. So I'd have to purchase out of 10 positions that I put on, only 3 of them would go up in the direction that I thought. The others would go down, and then all of a sudden I had to manage losses rather than managing my risk. I was really managing the losses. And I had to let those winners run. But that's a totally different game than the one we're talking about, because you had to be in the market every single day, watching your positions. Stop losses, I can tell you right now, stop losses are wonderful, but they don't prevent you from large losses, because if you put a stop loss on a position and the stock was trading at $40 yesterday, and all of a sudden bad news hit over the weekend, and you're sitting there Monday morning with a 20% loss in your stock, $8 lower, guess what? Your stop loss is going to get you out $8 lower. It's not going to stop you out at 8% of the loss of the stock, a $2 or $3 loss. No, you're going to get hit with an $8 loss. That stop loss will trigger the market, get it on the open, and it turns into a market order, and you're going to be in a hurting position. So that's why we don't really trust stop losses. When we go into the whole section on trading for wealth building, we'll talk about all that kind of stuff. But this is how we pare down our profits for at the end of a trade, and we're also going to be taking a look at our trade selection and strategy for the next position. I really wanted to just kind of give you the big picture here, because when you're trading with confidence, it doesn't matter what the market does. As you can see from my position here, I'm right in the sweet spot. And the market is down. If you take a look over here, the Dow is down 190 points. And my position is beautiful. I mean, right in the center here is where all the profit is made. The profit could go, the market could go down another 200 points, and I'd still be okay. It could go up 200 points, and I would be okay. That's why these kinds of positions are so powerful, because you've got a wide range that the market can move in. Doesn't matter if it moves up or down, and you're going to be in a profitable position. Now, I've got one contract here, and I'm making $400 in 2 weeks. If I had 10 contracts, I'd be making $4,000 in 2 weeks. If I had 20 contracts, I'd be making $8,000 in 2 weeks. How much money do you want to make? That's the only question. And the only way that you can make this kind of money in the market is by learning how to structure your positions, how to manage them on a portfolio basis, and how to adjust them when necessary. You never have to get hurt, and you never have to watch the market every single day if you don't want to. Now, I should say you should check maybe once a day just to see how your position is going, and we go into, adjustments in the big picture in that video. But the important thing to remember is that we are trading here with confidence, because it doesn't matter what the market does, we're going to be ready for it. That's really the thing that I want to try to convey to you at this time, to manage your portfolio. And that is the entire key to success in the markets. I've told you, this is my story. 20 years ago, I, started trading stocks and options. I had some early success. I was making, I was putting on bull call spreads, and but the market was in a tremendous bull market at the time. And I was making money week after week, $1,600, $2,000 every single week. At one point, I was up. I had some put positions, and I was up $32,000 on my account. My broker at the time, it was with Kidder Peabody. This was back in oh my gosh, that was a long time ago. This was back in 1987, maybe 1987, and my broker called me to say, "Hey, you might want to get out of these positions because the market's turning." And I said, "No, I'm going to hang in there for a little while." And within 2 minutes, the market started rallying up on my put position, and I lost another $12,000. I did close them out, but I lost $12,000 in profits because I waited 2 minutes. My broker had called me and said, "You better get out." Otherwise, I would have had a $32,000 profit at that point. I waited 2 minutes and lost $12,000. After that, I thought I could do no wrong. I'd been in a bull market. I bought puts at the right time. I made money on the way up, made money on the way down. I thought I could do no wrong. I bought $16,000 worth of puts because I thought the market was going to continue lower, and that just about wiped me out. In fact, Barron's, the newspaper, came out over the weekend and said, "This must be the market bottom." It was an actual article about my purchase of $16,000 worth of puts. Barron's came out and said, "This must be the bottom of the market because a retail customer bought $16,000 worth of puts." That was me. That was back in July of 1986, I think it was, or 87, I'm not sure. I really got to get a copy of that article. And I lost my shirt. I lost every penny that I had. And it took me a long time to figure out how to really make money in the markets. And I'll tell you, with confidence, how to trade with confidence. Because once you lose a ton of money, you're going to lose your confidence. And the only way to get it back is to learn everything you possibly can about the markets. And that's what I did. I learned every possible thing I could learn about the markets and about options. And if you want to make money, this is the only way I have found to make reliable monthly income from the markets, and how to build wealth over the long term. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you can hand down to your grandchildren, and it will still work for them as well as it works for you. This is the kind of stuff you can hand down as something that is so secret that only market makers who are extremely successful have ever learned about these markets. This is the kind of stuff that would go into a vault, is to make personal copies for yourself and put them into a vault. Put them in a safety deposit box at your bank. And believe me, your grandchildren, your children and your grandchildren and their grandchildren are going to profit from these strategies. The same strategies that you can profit from now, they're going to be able to profit from 20, 40, 100 years from now, because these will never change. The great thing is that these kind of strategies have really come to the forefront in the markets, or I wouldn't even say they're forefront, because I would say less than 1% of all traders even know how to do this. the market makers have been doing this for years, and now it's possible for retail customers like us to be able to take advantage of this. But retail customers in general are not going to even understand these type of positions because they're they're just so used to the idea of being of finding out whether they think price is the only way to profit from the markets. Price is going up, price is going down. I buy puts if it's going down. I buy calls if it's going up. I buy stock if it's going up. I short stock if it's going down. But price is not the only way to profit from the markets. In fact, it's probably the least effective way to profit from the markets. The kind of positions that we're talking about here are the kind of positions that you can put on, that don't take all of your time, that you can put them on, you can let them go, you adjust them as necessary, and make a great monthly income from them and build wealth out of. And there's very few people, I would say, very, very few people who understand this and can teach it. So that's my goal. My goal is to provide you with the very, very best training, the very best tools, the very best understanding of building these type of portfolio positions, managing them and adjusting them as necessary so that you can draw that monthly income and build wealth, trade with confidence.